stick stubbornly to my initial position and don't budge, I end up without a flying car. If Democrats and Republicans stick stubbornly to their initial positions, no tax hikes, no spending cuts, then we end up without a budget. I understand how strongly many in our caucus feel about the tax increases in this budget. If I alone were writing this budget, it would look far different. It would contain no tax increases. But just as in the car dealership, there are two parties to this negotiation, not one. Compromise is one of the most revered and most reliable words in American politics. We do the word a disservice by oversimplifying it, however. But if something must be done, for example, a budget, compromise is necessary. However, when there is an optional proposal on the table, such as the bill to defund charter schools or roll back workers' compensation reforms, compromise is not necessarily required. If somebody introduced a measure to eliminate fraud detection procedures in our welfare system, I wouldn't feel a need to compromise. I would simply oppose it. BC lawmakers in Washington, D.C. pick the wrong battles all too often. BC gridlock led in the last 5 years to continuing budget resolutions at the federal level. When there is no balanced budget requirement, there is no need to compromise. Congress can have all the tax cuts and spending increases it does, but Maine does not have that proposed election. Our constitutional balanced budget requirement creates a zero-sum game where revenues have to balance with outlays, and only by compromising both sides come to agreement. If there were a viable alternative, a path to reject more Republican values in this budget, I would consider it. The chief executive's proposal to sustain his veto, enacting a continuing budget resolution, and further negotiate with the majority party is not realistic. Those who could bring a continuing resolution to the floor have taken the advice from the Attorney General that such a measure is unconstitutional. The choice we have is a shutdown or a budget compromise. Time for negotiation has passed. There is no plan B. Let me repeat, there is no plan B, nor have I been approached with a plan B. If I alone had the task to write this budget, I would not store tax increases. It is the increases proposed in the original budget overturn. I would leave out some spending increases in the current proposal and add more cuts to state government. But again, the majority party does not agree to that. Just as I do not agree to a rollback of the 2011 income tax cuts. We have to meet the middle in our budget. As Republicans, we got some good things. We say that cuts in the income tax, which are far greater and more permanent than the temporary sales tax increases currently proposed in the budget. By retaining roughly one-third of the originally proposed cost of revenue sharing, we stated that no level of government needs a new fiscal responsibility. We have ensured that charter schools will receive the funding they need that the DHHS must find savings. Let us also consider what would happen if we fail to enact this budget. The state shutdown means that until further notice, there is no way to report an incident of child abuse. There would be thousands of neighbors and families going without a paycheck for weeks or possibly months. Small businesses would feel the ripple effect, but they can support it. Our state parks would close just at a time when thousands of tourists are coming to our state. Hospitals would go without payments that they were promised and would be forced to spend on health care. Dairy farmers would go without the assistance that they were promised by the hard-working bipartisan collaboration of lawmakers. I would like to add one last thing. The Republican Party was successful when we had a big welcoming tent. The level of visual I witnessed in the circular firing squads that I've seen on